Hi guys, charity shop gold or garbage, nailsy today. I bought quite a few things, so I'm going to do individual videos for them. Also quite a few things I didn't buy, which I'll do a video for as well. Spotted this £1.50 Galactic flyer. It's another one of those sort of helicopter type things. But what I spotted was it was 40 megahertz. Usually these sort of things are infrared. So I thought I'll buy that just to see whether it works, because it ought to work outdoors if it's proper radio control instead of infrared. Let's see if we can get it out of the package. Bit of a teaser in the background, one of those other projects I'm working on. Right. Oh. Power supply, controller, looks to me like it just goes up and down, but we'll find out in a minute. There. Can't get it out. Place two AA batteries in the hand remote. Attach the aerial to the remote. Press the trigger until battery life has ended. The battery should now be completely discharged. Fully recharge the battery to fly the UFO. So, let's put some batteries in here first. And they look a bit corroded, so I'll swap them. Just try and scrape the crystals off that have been produced. By the old battery. Don't know if there's supposed to be a light in there or anything. Right, we don't honestly expect any power in there, do we? No. Well, we'll assume it's fully discharged. Plug this in and see if it charges up. Where's that come from? That looks like a spare. Cool, I plugged that in and the transformer is humming. I would imagine we're going to have to replace the battery in here. It's probably an old NiCad. Not a lot happening there. Well, we'll just leave it for a while and see if anything happens. I might just go and find a 40 megahertz car and see if we can get it to respond to this. It does have an LED on it. I don't think it does anything other than lights up. But if I use this car that's Volkswagen van, it does respond. Interesting, because if I push that in gently, it starts off the wheels turning one way. Camera probably won't pick it up. That's actually going in reverse. If I hold it down a bit further, it then changes the other way. And if I hold it all the way down, the steering activates. So I reckon it's using all 4 channels, or I say 4 channels, the left, right and forwards, backwards, to give different power settings to this. Because that's all this can do, is go up and down. So that's what I reckon. That's interesting. So even though it's just a single trigger, it's giving us forwards, backwards and left and right separately, one after another in sequence. So that was worth trying out, if nothing else. Anyway, we'll leave this now and see if any power goes into that. I strongly doubt it, but we'll have a look. Is there a date on this? Danbar Games. Oh, we should be able to get the rechargeable battery out of the top of the there, so we might have a look at that. Looks like a little 3-pack. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's unplug that anyway. Well, I managed to get the screws out eventually. Alright, managed to release it off the little posts that it's sitting on. Gosh, that's quite a power pack in there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little NiCad batteries in there. 5 times 1.2 volts. What's that going to give us? 6 volts, isn't it? Thereabouts. Doesn't want to come out. It's lovely when it just shows you in the picture, it just lifts straight out. That should unplug. That's what it shows you. I'm sure that's what that shows you. Yeah. Should be able to unplug it. I don't see a plug there. That looks directly soldered to me. Wires go into the LEDs. Wires going to the motor. Oh, one of those wires is loose. That's an LED wire. I think this is going to be a project to see if we can get anything, salvage anything out of it. We've got a geared motor, let's be positive. You never know what you might be able to use that for. I might go and see if I can find some batteries that we can just connect direct to the motor, see if we can power it. Right, I've taken the old battery off and I've wired it, well, I put a connector on it so we can go into this battery box. I've just got 5 AA batteries there, so that should be about the equivalent of the NiCad battery that I took out. But we haven't got any lights coming on these LEDs, so that doesn't look very promising. Turn that fella back off. So nothing happening there. If I rig up a couple of leads to go directly to the motor, so we've got a working geared motor, so that's positive. Might be able to use that on something else. The receiver doesn't seem to work. I reckon this has been left out in the rain because there's so much corrosion all over it. There's lots of green and white crystals. That's the LEDs. Yeah, so I reckon charity shop garbage. Doesn't work at all. So, summary time. On the positive side, we've got a geared motor that works, so we could probably put that on a little aeroplane, change that out for a proper propeller instead of a rotor. Looks like that receiver is not working. There is lots of little white and green crystals on it, so I think it's probably got wet at some time. So that side of it, garbage with a little gold lining.